Join me in painting a beautiful Christmas card using watercolor. We will start by sketching a vintage mailbox with a little bird sitting on it. I have added a latch and erased the top part of the mailbox where the snow will settle. I'm sure you will enjoy the painting process of this winter themed Christmas card. I start by wetting the entire paper while preserving the areas where the mailbox and the birds are sketched, as well as the snow resting atop the mailbox. It's okay to dampen the wooden stump though. I'm wetting the paper thoroughly so that it stays damp for a longer time, but there shouldn't be any pool of water on the surface. Next, I'm using Payne's Gray to work on the background. I start by painting around the mailbox and begin defining the outline of the sketch using a pointed brush. We have already preserved the snow covered area atop the mailbox while wetting the background. As we paint the background, be careful not to disturb this preserved area. Next, we define the snow by creating irregular edges, capturing how it has naturally settled on the mailbox. I also add some irregular patches atop the latch to show how the snow has settled on it. Next, I'm painting the bottom area while the paper is still wet. I'm using a lighter value of Payne's Gray here, and also I'm adding it on the left side of the paper as you can see in the video. After that, I tilt the board in all directions, letting the pigment to flow naturally to form a smooth blended effect. You might have noticed that I didn't paint at the bottom left corner, which is reserved for the Christmas message. I am tilting the board and wiping away the excess pigment that has collected near the masking tape. After that, I sprinkle some table salt over the wet paint to add snow texture. I allowed the paper to dry completely and gently scraped off the salt. Next, I'm wetting the mailbox flap and I'm applying Naples yellow over the wet area. After applying Naples yellow, next I'm adding vermilion hue which creates an orange shade. Next I add a bit more of vermilion hue at the bottom of the mailbox flap. After that I use Payne's Gray to carefully paint along the edges of the flap just as you can see in the video. Now I'm painting the underside of the mailbox using Payne's Grey, which is slightly visible to the viewer. After that, I mix Payne's Grey with vermilion hue to create a reddish brown shade, and then I add a good amount of Naples yellow to that mix to paint the wooden stump. Using the reddish brown shade on my palette, I paint the darker side of this stump. I have assumed that the light source is coming from the left, which is why I used an orange shade for the mailbox flap. Next, I wet the remaining part of the mailbox. Be careful not to wet the snow covered area. And my brush wasn't completely clean, so there is a little muddy water, which is fine for me. I apply Naples yellow at the top and vermilion hue at the bottom. I blend these two colors to form a soft transition from red to orange shade. I then add a mix of vermilion hue with a little Payne's Grey, as you can see on the video, and I apply it on the bottom of the mailbox. You can see that this side of mailbox is slightly darker compared to the mailbox flap because it isn't directly hit by the light. Next, I use the same reddish brown shade, which is a mix of vermilion hue and Payne's Grey, to paint the latch which is on the side of the mailbox. Now it's time to paint the little bird. I start by using Naples yellow for its tummy, and then I use Payne's Grey for the upper body. With a clean damp brush, I gently blend the yellow and grey shade, leaving a small white area for its eye. The final step is adding numbers on the mailbox. For that, I use a white gel pen. And with that, we have reached the end of this painting process. I hope you enjoyed creating this beautiful Christmas card with me. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more watercolor painting content. I will see you in another video. Until then, take care and bye bye from Prema.